Hey everybody, how you doing today? And welcome to Life with Peter. Anyway, I'm going to be working on our paddock here. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of manure up from the winter time. Finally got it picked up somewhat yesterday. There's still a lot to do, but we're going to compost that out and then we sell it. You can see a big pile over there. This pile is just from this area in here. That pile over there is just from in there, and then we scraped that and made a small pile over here, but there's still quite a bit left. I wanted it to dry out before I scraped it more. I didn't want to pick up mud with it. So anyway, thanks for being here with Life with Peter. I'll show you what we're going to be doing, and I'm glad to have you along. It's a beautiful day, probably the nicest day we've had since last fall. And yeah, come on along. Anyway, here we are. This is some trees we had to have taken out a couple years ago. There was 4 trunks coming out of here, and the horses all ate the bark over the years and killed the tree. You can see another one back there where they did that, and some smaller ones in the foreground. And 2 years ago, this tree was leaning way over. In fact, it was so tall and had so much lean that it was way over into that yard over there. So we had this arborist friend of ours come over. We hired him to drop this tree and clean up some of the other trees. You can see the size of the stump. It's a beautiful tree, and we left this whole length here. It's been just a beautiful piece in the paddock. We've kept our horses separated with the electric fence, which we do. The hay shed there is part of our winter hay. That'll be the last stuff that we feed out. We took that apart from a neighbor's block down the road when they sold their place. We bought it for $250, put it in sections, and brought it down here and reinstalled it. Turned out really good. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this electric fence, and I am going to buck this tree up for firewood. We're going to sell it because we do have a small part-time firewood business, and this tree will be perfect because it'll be really dry. That's just some composted manure in there that I put in there to kind of fill it up and make it look, I don't know, kind of artsy, but don't know if that really happened. So anyway, there's our horses. Got 5 of them. One's retired, and 2 of them are Arabians. One's 21, 20, and the other one's 21 and a half. Half brother, half sister. This is our paint Jesse, and our 4-year-old buckskin quarter horse. That's my wife's project. And Jesse is 10 years old, my project. And our other 2 horses, the Arabians, are quite well trained. We ride them a lot here in our, this is actually our arena here, and then we have a round pen out front. We ride them in here, I road chill that, and we ride up in the mountains. You see a little bit of them in the background and up in the Uintas and stuff like that. So more on that. Anyway, I'm going to get started on taking down some of this electric fence so I can get that log out of here, and glad to have you along. So as you can see, I've got these blue chainsaw chaps on, same as what a cowboy would wear or somebody on their motorcycle. They have buckles in the back. The difference is that these have special Kevlar fibers in the interior of it, so that if the chainsaw comes across it, it rips this outer edge, pulls the fibers into the chain, thereby clogging the chain and stopping the chain. It's particularly important as they cover where your femur artery would be, because if you cut your artery, you're going to bleed out before you can call for help. The other thing also is good hearing protection. I like ear muffs, but I also wear the foam ones, but I find these have better protection. I always carry at least one wedge with me. It can be a different size, smaller, bigger, but that way I can keep the kerf or the cut open. If it starts to close up, I'm not going to pinch my saw. Also, a good axe is very, very important as well. So you can basically drive that wedge in. Then of course, this is my big chainsaw. It's a steel MS-391. I love it. It's a ranch forestry saw. It's not the professional model. Got a 25-inch bar, and it cuts anything that I need it to cut. And I had seen this on a YouTube video. I'll have to find out where I got the idea and put a link in the bottom and give that person credit, because this is phenomenal the way it just magnetically attaches. That's a 16-inch cut. From here to there, I can just go along and cut into the wood, knowing where my 16 inches, so that our firewood's all the same equal length. So this is where I'm going to start. I have to determine which way this log's going to go, because that piece is on the ground, this piece is on the ground, and if, depending on where I cut it, it could roll, and it's not held on that stump by much, as you can see. So more than likely that's going to roll towards the tractor here. I've got it parked far enough away that I won't damage it. So what I'll probably do is take a piece out over here and then work my way up until I get to the split here, and then drop the whole thing down. What can I say? There you have it. I'm going to go ahead and buck this up into manageable lengths, equaling 16 inches in pieces, so I can split it later on. But that's basically how I would have approached this log. Making sure I'm watching for any roll or twist or tightening up of the kerf where my saw is going to get pinched. I had my safety glasses on, I forgot to mention that. I've seen a lot of guys out there cutting wood, falling trees, you know, on their property and stuff like that. They don't have the safety chaps. Oftentimes they don't even have safety glasses, hearing protection, good thick leather boots. Because I'll tell you, if that saw gets to you, there's no forgiveness. You're going to kiss something goodbye. If it's a kickback, it may hit you in the face. If it cuts your femoral artery, you're going to bleed out in about a minute. So my recommendation is cheap insurance, wear it, never start your saw without it on. I never do that. Always gloves when I'm changing it or sharpening a chain. I wear good thick leather gloves that fit well, so I have good control. So I'm going to go ahead and buck this all up, and I'll see you down the road. Thanks for being here for this portion. If you like the video, I appreciate you liking it and hitting that button. And if you want to subscribe and hit that notification so that you'll always know when we put up a new video, that'd be great too. But if you find something that you would like more information on, or a video you'd like me to do, just leave them in the comments. Be glad to try and do whatever I can to give you more information, more insight, and to keep you safe. You have a great day, and thanks for being here.